Okay, so most of us gardeners are familiar with the debate about peat moss and how it is unsustainable as far as being sourced from peat bogs that are being depleted, and so just not a good idea to use it in our gardens. The alternative that is generally proposed is coco coir. Now, coco coir takes a lot of energy to produce, and in addition to that, is shipped across thousands and thousands of miles, at least to where I am in the United States. And so, for me, this is not an environmentally sustainable solution either. Now, the properties of both coco coir and peat moss are that they are carbon rich, that they hold a ton of moisture, and they also have very, very good drainage. Leaf mold is an amazing alternative for all your soil mix needs as well as for putting in your raised beds. It also adds nutrients, which both these don't, so it's a win-win. Now, you need to understand the process of decomposition of leaves. This is a fungally dominant process, and it is much slower than your typical hot composting process, which is bacterially dominant. So, the process of development of leaf mold can take up to 2 years. But I'm going to show you how you can speed up that process so that you can have leaf mold in a year instead of the usual 2 to 3 years. Okay, so here is my trick to speed up the process of leaf mold creation. As you can see, we have a lot of leaves, and now it's been raining, and that's actually a good thing because we're going to do some chopping of these leaves with our lawnmower. The wet leaves means no dust, and the leaves stay in one place while we mow over them. Now, depending on the use you're planning to put these to, you might want to go over it a few times. But know that the more that you shred it, the more the surface area of the leaves, and hence the faster the decomposition. In fact, you can get leaf mold to form in about 6 months tops if you shred them up pretty good. So how exactly do you make leaf mold? Well, the process couldn't be simpler. All you need to do is pile up your leaves, wet them down, and then cover them with something like this. And then just walk away. Come back every once in a while if you live in a dry climate, maybe once a month or so, and make sure that there's enough moisture in the leaves. But other than that, there's nothing else to do. Come back when it's ready, and that could be from 6 months to 2 years. Now, if you don't have the space like I do, what you can do is fill them up in plastic bags just like this. I filled up 3 plastic bags. In one of them, I've put leaves that have not been shredded just because I want to see how long it's going to take. And then in the other two, I've actually put leaves that have been shredded pretty well. Now, you do want to poke some holes in them just to ensure proper drainage, because if you don't have air flowing in and out, and if the water accumulates in there, it could go anaerobic, and that will not help with leaf mold formation. So make sure that there are some holes. You know, you can come and roll these bags around every once in a while to speed up the process, stomp them down a little bit. Make sure that you're using bags that will not biodegrade. A lot of yard bags actually biodegrade over the course of time, and because leaf mold takes a long time to form, you don't want to use those bags. This is one of those times where you actually want to use bags that are going to last. So I've got these, I've repurposed this. A very nice neighbor used to give me rabbit poop in these bags, so they're really sturdy, and I've used them over and over again, and so I'm going to be using them to make my leaf mold. I put a date on it, and let's see how long it takes. Subscribe to my channel and I'll give you updates on how it's going. Have you used leaf mold in the garden? Do you love it? I would love to hear your experiences. Do leave some comments below. This is my first time making leaf mold, and I would love to learn everything I possibly can about it. And have you ever used it as a substitute for peat moss and coco coir? I would love to hear about that as well.